Hey, what's up everyone? It's Duncan from 4x Touring. Haven't been doing a whole lot of videos lately. Lots been happening in life, and we also moved to the country. So more about that in another video. Dicerus is at the opposite lock getting his diff locks installed, front and rear, and a whole complete reconditioning of the front and rear axles. So pretty excited about that. Hopefully that'll come out in another video in a few weeks time. In the meantime, we had work in the Riverland here in South Australia. So we had a 2-day getaway from our routine of life and got into the Riverland. And in the same time, we thought we'll explore a little bit of the Murray River. And sometime back, those of you who've been following my channel for a while, and if you haven't, just go check in the playlist. We went and did some camping by the Murray mouth. Now that's where the Murray system eventually enters the Southern Ocean, and that's known as the Murray Mouth. And that was done, I think, about 2 or 3 years ago. It's still in the playlist. Now today we are about 360 kilometers from the Murray Mouth in a area called Waikerie, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this whole area is known as the Riverland. So the river meanders through this whole area, a lot of farming country. And right now where I am, it's known as Lock Weir and Lock 2, and they're numbered. Now this whole river system consists of a series of weirs and locks. Now what they do is basically to control the flow and also help with the navigation of boats. Now right behind me is weir number 2, as I said, and weir and lock number 2, and the chamber right back there that chamber is used to help with boats navigate. Now let me explain how that works. Now it's quite clever how these lock systems and weirs work. So right there in the foreground, that's the chamber, what they call the locking chamber. So what happens is when the water levels are 2 different water levels. In fact, let me quickly walk across and I'll show you what I mean. If you look ahead over there in the distance, and you'll see the water levels are at 2 different levels. Onto my left, it's at a higher level compared to the right side. So when a boat comes along, what happens is the boat will pull into this chamber here, and it's a bit like the Suez Canal where ships will pull in, and here in this case boats will pull in here, and then the water level will be lowered so that the boat can carry on in that direction, or in the opposite way, a boat will pull in from this way and then they'll raise the water level so that it can carry on going up in that direction. So that's how the lock chamber works. And then there is the weirs down there towards the far distance that basically controls the flow of water. And then this in-between structure can basically be during flood times where the chamber is no longer needed for navigation. That structure can pretty much be dismantled, and where boats can freely navigate it themselves without having to come into the chamber. So the entire Murray-Darling River system throughout Australia is it's full of these locks and weirs, which helps in navigation and also in controlling the flow of water. Now that's a pretty interesting indicator, but basically it indicates the flood levels. And not too sure if it's very clear on the camera here, but anyway, so the highest reading was back in 1956. That was 12, almost 13 meters, the flood level. So that's right to the top there, and all these trees that you see in the distance, that would have been pretty much covered by the floods of 1956. Then you go down 1931, it's 10.6, 1974 10.3, 1993 9.3, and then 1990 9.2 again, and then 1992 at the bottom 7.7. So progressively from 1956 down to most recent 1992, the flood levels have been lowering actually. And those of you who know better than me maybe could leave it in the comment section, because that means that indicates how the water level in this river system is reducing. Why is that? And is it just because of this global warming or a whole lot of other reasons? Yeah, leave them in the comments below. But progressively it's a remarkable difference. So 1956 up to almost 13 meters flood level, right down to 7.8 in 1992. Yep, quite interesting. And then onto the left we got the flow indicator. That's a flow per day in thousands of megaliters. And right now today, 23rd of May, when I'm filming this, they put the indicator at 20,000 megaliters of water per day. Trying to wrap my head around 20,000 megaliters. That's anyway, and rivers flowing in that direction. And as I said at the beginning, it's heading towards the Murray mouth, and eventually it'll end up in the Southern Ocean.